So let's talk about the alchemist's secret that actually we are going to use this some kind of very specific secret that could be helpful for the time that we do have the nested radicals and we would like to find the perfect squares. So the idea is like this. Imagine that I do have expression and my expression is like this one. Square root of a plus root of b, as we all know just about the some kind of the nested radicals. It at the beginning of the point it could be a little bit impossible to solve or impossible to handle until you see a specific pattern, and this one is not going to be some kind of earned unless you see something or you know something about that. And what is that pattern? That pattern says that root of a plus root b to the power 2, again, if you consider this one as big A, if you consider this one as big B, it would be a2 plus b2 plus 2ab. This guy can be written as this one. It means that a to the power 2, which is this big A to the power 2, and this big B to the power 2, and 2 times AB. So why we're going to use that? Let's see an example. You do have some kind of expression, and I would like to simplify that. So we would like to what? Write down this form of this guy. So first of all, make the inner radical match the pattern itself. It means that before you are going to use this nested way, you have to make sure that actually your terms are going to match the pattern that we have. What was the pattern? The pattern of perfect square would say that if you can find a way to somehow mimic your term to be the right side, actually your guy was the left side itself. What does that mean? So let's look at this one. You see that I do have 6 number. I do have 2 root of some kind of 8 itself. So what is 6? 6 is the addition of 2 number, 2 and 4, right? And also inside this some kind of radical itself, which was AB, I do have 2 times 4. It means that 2 plus 4 is going to be the first part, and 2 times 4 is the second side. So this guy is going to fit inside the pattern itself. I can say actually this one was the combination of a perfect square, which was root 4 and root 2. Why? Because if you have this guy to the power of 2, it would be 4. This guy to the power of 2, it would be 2. 2 plus 4 is just 6 itself. And if you have 2 times AB, you would have 2 times root 4 times root 2. You can combine these two, you have 2 root 8, which is going to be exact same question that we had before. Something like this. And what would happen after that? After that one, everything is simple because I know that this guy is a perfect square. I can write it down like this because I had the power of 2. This one was also index of 2, and I just simplified the whole work like that, as simple as that itself. So it means that I have to monitor the whole thing, but I also have to find a specific pattern that I can use it for my specific formula itself. By the way, maybe some of you have questioned that how come this term, specifically this guy, just converted to this one. If you guys remember, 4 root 2 can be written as 2 times 2 root 2. Would that be okay if I say that 2 was actually root 4? So I can say that instead of 2, we should have the root 4. So we want 2 root 8. I know right now it seems a little bit complicated, but the more you practice and the more you see examples, you can make sure you can handle any of that. As I just told you, it's not a law. It's not something like 2 plus 2 is equals to 4. Yet it's going to follow the mathematical rule, but you have to find that specific pattern that's hidden inside the question itself. So let's have the master test. Let's see that actually we can have the combination of all of these problems in order to handle a solution. So I do have a question. It would be root of x plus 6 plus 4 times x plus 2 itself. So I have to find a pattern at this point. Let's see what would happen. First of all, look at the radicand. The radicand is going to be like this. And this has the structure of a perfect square. How you would say that? Again, instead of just working with numbers, we do have variables and numbers. So if I would say that actually x plus 2 is going to be considered the first term, 4 is another one, and this guy is going to be the second one, I can find out something interesting. It means that my x plus 2 actually was x plus 2 roots, as I can call it as a. So a squared can be considered as x plus 2 itself. That is the first part. And B was actually 2. Why? After that, because I see it 4 over here, and I can say that B2 was 4. So far so good. I just found that my A and B somehow works. But here's the important part. I should see that, do I have any 2 times AB that is going to give me 4 root x plus 2? So this guy times this one, and I should have the same guy, something like this. I just found out that my A is x plus 2, I assume. And my B was 2. So if you just do this multiplication, you see that you can have this one. So that is the perfect pattern for me. It means that right now, rather than just having the whole idea of this one or the whole thing, I can convert it to what? I can convert it x plus 2 as the first term, plus what? Plus 2 itself as the second term, and everything was actually to the power of 2. So I can write down the whole thing or the radicand itself just like this one. So when you have this one, you can just get rid of these 2 and this square root. And the final one would be like this. I do have root x plus 2 is equals to 5. So I just converted this whole monster to something like this, which is going to be a little bit less scarier than the last one. What should I do? Move this 2 to another side. I do have to subtract it by 2. And root x plus 2 is going to be 3. So I will have to find the power of 2 of both sides. So after that, I do have x is equals to 7. Is it going to be inside the restriction part? Yes, because we know any number bigger than some kind of negative 2 is okay for me. So I'm totally fine. By training yourself to spot these kind of patterns, you can completely understand that what is going on, and you are somehow help yourself in order to don't have any kind of challenging condition or any kind of issue when you have a test or exam or anything related to that. So again, let's talk about the toolkit that we use in order to work in our mastery or radical mastery and reach from 0 to hero. The very first thing that we just learned was about the simplification expression. It means that we have to decode the radicals by splitting the exponents or hunting for perfect squares, as we just saw. Rationalizing denominators. It means that we have to find a way in order to get rid of the radical in the denominator, because it's going to make everything complicated. Either my radical would be something like this, that I have to multiply both numerator and denominator by that same number, or my radical is going to be the combination of a radical and also a number by itself, just a normal real number. So I have to do what? I have to do these things. Why I'm trying to do that? Because I would like to find my difference of perfect squares over here. And this one would be root 2 to the power of 2 subtracted by 2 to the power of 2. After that, we had the solving equations. We have to follow the isolate and square. It means that isolate one radical in one side and keep everything on another side. Could be the radicals, it could be a number of radical, it could be anything. After that, we should never trust the result without checking. Means what? It means that I have to check the number itself. And another thing that's going to help me is about the restriction point or no-go point, that I have to deal with it at the very beginning of the question itself. It means that the number beside the or beneath the radical cannot be less than 0 itself. After that, we were talking about unlocking the nest form. We deployed the substitution for repeating the structure. It means that whenever you are dealing with the nested points and you have a square root of x or whatever, you can call it as t and solve the whole thing based on t and come back to find your x itself, as simple as that. So right now, we were talking about different things related to the radicals, the nested radicals, and some kind of rationalizing. I would like you guys to look at this question and try to think about it and find all of the answers that you could possibly have for the x, based on the pattern that we have, based on the squares, based on whatever you have in your mind itself, and just answer this question or by finding the x on the comment down below. If you have any problem, just ask me in the comment, and I'm trying to give you help as much as I can. And if I couldn't do that on the comment, I'm probably going to make another video for you. This is Mahmoud Kesari. Thank you for watching. Have yourself a great day, night, whatever. See you around.